It's side time for grade 11. Digestive System Part 5. Today's lesson we will learn about absorption and what happens after the absorption and some diseases associated with the digestive system. First thing, absorbing sites. You can see two blood vessels here. The nutrients absorbs into the bloodstream, you know that. And some associated organ, this is called spleen, pancreas and duodenum and the stomach. This place is special because absorption starts at stomach. Simplest substances absorbs at the stomach. Then another associated organs, gallbladder and liver here. Then we will meet the main absorbing site, that is the small intestine. It's a long tube. Food wait long time here. Then after the food will travel to the large intestine. This is the place where the absorption completes. Now let's see how small intestine adapted for this absorption. So look at this. It's a long tube. As we learned, there's rich blood supply here, and also you can see inside that wall there are some projections to increase the surface area. These projections are known as villi, and those villi again has kind of rough surface with microvilli like this. And then see this detailed diagram. Single one is called villus here, this single finger like projection. It has two types of vessel supply. One is the blood vessels, blood capillaries, and the lacteal. This lacteal is connected, let's see their names. This is our microvilli and blood capillaries, and this is lacteal. Blood capillary is connected to the bloodstream and lacteal is connected to our lymphatic system. So nutrients such as amino acids and glucose absorbs into the bloodstream, but the end products of lipids, glycerol and fatty acids we absorbs into the lacteal. So by having such surface, there is kind of special adaptations for efficient absorption of nutrients. Here are the adaptations. First, presence of villi and microvilli. Next, having a large surface area, and because of that long tube there's more large surface area. Highly vascularized intestine wall. Vascularized means rich blood supply here. Next, thin epithelial lining. It allows the nutrients to pass easily through the lining into the bloodstream or to the lymphatic system. Then after the digestion, after the absorption, there are two blood vessels important. This is systemic aorta and this is the blood vessel runs into our gut or to the small intestine. Right, this is aorta. This artery is called mesenteric artery. It supplies blood to the intestine. Then after the absorption, blood will collect back with the vein. This vein is called hepatic portal vein. This vein runs into the liver because absorbed nutrients first carried into the liver. Some nutrients temporarily stores here at the liver. So the nutrients taken from the gut carried into the liver through the hepatic portal vein and stores temporarily. Right. This is what happens after the absorption. Then let's move on to some diseases associated with this digestive system. We will start with one common disease, gastritis. Most of people call it as gastric. That's actually wrong. You know that gastric is the juice or a kind of liquid secreted into the stomach. The proper term is the gastritis. And if you have that experience or if your friends or somebody has that experience, then you can just recall the symptoms that they have said. This normally comes with the pain in the stomach or the chest. So what are the reasons for this gastritis? You can see this picture. Taking medicines for long time, instant food, sometimes some bacteria types, and mental stress can cause these ones. Let's go through them. These are the causes. Skipping meals, one thing, that not having meals regularly, and instant food, taking medicines for long time, bacterial infections, and mental stress. How can we diagnose the problem? Here you can see there is an endoscope sent to the stomach. By sending endoscope or through endoscopic test, the disease could be confirmed. And how it could be confirmed actually? When we see healthy stomach, we can see the stomach wall like that. But unhealthy ones, we can see ulcers or small wounds in the stomach wall. By noticing that ulcers in the stomach wall, we can confirm whether the person has gastritis or not. So this is healthy stomach wall and this is the diseased one. Then symptoms, how people feel that. One thing, some people feel heaviness of the stomach, and also definite thing is the pain in the stomach. Next one, nausea or feeling to vomit or vomiting. That problems also comes. And the biggest or the most difficult one is this heartburn. It feels like the pain at the middle of the chest or the at top of the abdomen. So these are the symptoms of the gastritis disease. Next disease or the next issue with the digestive system is constipation. What is constipation? It is actually difficulty of passing feces or pain when passing fecal matters. These are the reasons, causes for long use of medicines and bacterial infections and taking high dose of calcium or iron and instant food. These are some risky facts of the constipation. Sometimes not doing some or not following some better health habits also can cause to this, right? Having better health habit or the good health habits also important. Like lack of exercises can cause constipation, and not taking enough fibers or not adding enough fibers to our food can cause this, and not drinking sufficient water at about 8 glasses per word 8 glasses we have to drink per day, or about 3 liters. If you do not drink that amount of water, fecal matters can be dried out and the problem can arise. So symptoms, look at these pictures. First one, we can understand that is the pain in the stomach or abdomen. Next one, reduction of ejecting rate. If a person don't have practice to eject, then reduction of ejecting rate, sometimes 2-3 days that can be delayed. As a result of that, feces become more brownish color. Next, they become hard and it's difficult to pass through. Therefore, blockage of rectum can occur. And sticking of feces in the stomach is another problem comes with that. Um, Due to all these things, finally we feel the heaviness of the abdomen, and these are the symptoms of constipation. And how can we avoid that? First thing, use more magnesium containing food and more uh, healthy food, just like the food with more fiber, seeds and such things, and eat more such things. Eat or drink more water or liquid food, eat fibrous food, and reduce these things: instant food, alcohol beverages, or such things we can reduce to avoid the constipation. Right. The next issue is the typhoid condition. This is a diarrhea condition comes with fever. See this? Normally it comes with unhygienic food consumption. That means the dirty food or water. And Salmonella type is the bacteria causing that disease how spread impure food and water. This is caused by the bacteria called Salmonella type. And what are the symptoms? See the pictures. First one, high fever and headache, and nausea and vomiting, or pain in the abdomen. Also, diarrhea conditions arise. Due to the prolonged diarrhea condition, weight loss can occur. The weight reduces, and feeling irritation, loss of the consciousness because of the pain and the fever. Next, how to prevent it? Three ways. First one, washing hands before a meal. That means we can prevent the entrance of Salmonella typhi by having clean hands, and drinking pure water as possible as we need to take more pure water. Then take in well cooked food. Half cooked food also can contain the bacteria. Therefore, cooking food well is very important. Then some a kind of common problem, the diarrhea condition. This is actually the pass in the fecal matters in more liquid state, diarrhea condition. And the reasons similar to the previous ones. I mean, it's similar to the typhoid fever condition. That means causes are eating uncovered food which are open to the flies, and drinking impure water, and taking spoiled food. And the symptoms, these are the symptoms. First, dizziness and vomiting and pain in the stomach and headache and fluidic feces or passing fecal matters in more liquid medium or liquid mode, and the fever. These are the problems can arise with the diarrhea conditions. Now the treatments, if somebody suffer from that treatment, take in simple meal. One thing is that a meal which can easily digest, and take in more water as a remedy to prevent the dehydration. That means we lost a lot of water with the diarrhea condition. Therefore, we have to regain that water to keep our body hydrated. And the last thing, having enough rest until it's cured. We can rest. Then these are the options of the treatments for the diarrhea condition. So we discussed 4 diseases associated with the digestive system. And this is the end of this whole lesson about the digestive system. Then we will meet back with the next system, that is the respiratory system. Until that, goodbye.